Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at Black Bull Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at Black Bull Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. That's right, get either the Essential, Plus or Premium plans absolutely free, and all you need to do is trade from one lot a month at Black Bull Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below. Hey, if you like futures because of the tight spreads and clear setups, go check out Blue Guardian Futures. They let you start trading futures with up to $450k in funding. The best part, you keep 100% of your first 15k in profits, then 90% after that. No activation fees, weekly payouts, and they're sponsoring Chris Eubank Jr. and Birmingham City FC. Go take a look at blueguardianfutures.com or click the link in the description.
What's going on, guys? It's Brinks Trades coming to you live with another week of breakdowns. Hope everybody is having a great week. Hope everybody had a great trading week. If you guys follow me in the Talented 10th Discord, shameless plug. You guys know that I had a pretty decent week this week. I think it was about 6K across all accounts. So that's pretty solid week for me. Again, if you guys, this is your first time tuning in, my name is Blake, aka Brinks Trades. I am the resident indices analyst for the Trading Nut podcast. So every week I come on here, basically just break down charts for y'all and let y'all know, a little bit about what I'm seeing in the markets, and basically just do a free analysis for the community. Trading Nut was one of the platforms that when I first started trading, I used to come on here and watch everybody's interviews. It didn't matter if it was Lambo Raoul's or Q Banks or anybody, whoever it was when I first started trading. I used to come to this podcast for motivations. It's really cool to be able to come out here every week and just outline and talk about, what I think the market's going to do on a week-to-week basis. So let's go ahead and get into it. Give me 1 second. My contact is wigging out on me. So one of the things I love to see where people are calling in from. So again, if y'all are calling in from somewhere special, I love to see. This is an international podcast, so we got people from all over the world calling in to tune in and watch these on a week-to-week basis. So drop where you from, drop where you're calling in from. Let's go ahead and share this. All right, so in the meantime, in between time, hold on, sorry, my contact is tweaking today. Sorry, guys. Shout out to Tony. Tony's one of the students in the group in the mentorship group, Talented 10th. He's really been doing his thing, man. He's gonna hit some crazy growth this year. Before this year is up, I can already tell. Shout out to Baltimore, Maryland, Maryland. I got a lot of family out there. So, okay, so let's go ahead and get into the charts. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna keep this very short today because we're kind of in this weird place in the markets, and I just want to make sure that I can touch base, especially since I wasn't able to come on last week. So dollar index, right? So we talked about this over the past couple of weeks. Again, dollar is king. So you guys will always see me start my analysis with dollar index because dollar is king. If you understand where dollar is going, you can start to form a theory about what the other pairs are doing, especially when you're trading currencies. Definitely when you're trading currencies, and also when you're trading indices as well. Everything has a relationship to the dollar. Everything is tied to the dollar. So first things first, so we're in this weird and a little bit of indecision, but I think the market's starting to tip its hat a little bit to where we're going. So over the past few weeks, starting the weekly time frame, we've been on a downtrend, right? We are consistently making lower lows, lower highs. We had a wick come really trade back up here, but really wicked below the zone, this area right here, and continue to run down, forming lower lows, right? So very, very clean, very easy to see downtrend, right? So we can see, in the bigger picture, we have been trading off of a multi-month, really head and shoulders, a double top pattern. You can call it a double top, you can call it consolidation, manipulation, distribution. We are in the middle of that, right? And this is that first really kind of big swing down after we broke structure. So multi-month bearishness on dollar. So, over the next few months, we definitely want to see dollar keep going lower. That's a bigger term. Now, week to week, day to day, again, we're still trying to that thing play out. I told everybody that when the market hit this gap, we were going to see something happen. And I said, either we want to see this respected or inverted, right? Respected to go higher or inverted to continue to go lower. We did actually invert this fair value gap. We got a clean close below it, went back up and tested the consequent encroachment of that gap. And now we're consistently running lower. So what I would like to see is the market really continue to run and really retest the zone here. This is a overall weekly volume imbalance. I'm actually going to remove this off the chart because we did kind of trade through this already. So what I'm looking at here is I want to see the market really continue down to hit sell side at 3 levels, this level, and then obviously the low of last week as well. So those are the 3 levels that I want to see the market really start to hit over the next few weeks. I think we are disrespecting this gap. Again, we did trade to the low end of it, close below it, retest it. So this is now, to me, considered an inverted fair value gap. And all that means is that it was disrespected. And this could be signaling a bigger trend change, right? Because we were trading higher, right? And so what I'd like to see is the market really stay below that bottom half of that consequent encroachment. Maybe it retests it one more time, but I don't really want to see this close above it. And so I'd like to see maybe something like this. Best case scenario, we do something like that. Drop down to the 4-hour time frame, for this week is what I would like to see. So really, I'd like to see continued bearishness on dollar. And that means we'd also see bullishness on euro, ideally, right? And euro has been doing some things in this gap over the past couple of weeks. So really, coming into the market last week, I do want to acknowledge that I said a couple of things. I said, really, we wanted to see the market respect this gap and continue to go lower. Again, this is a CIVI, it's a sell side imbalance. So ideally, when we had clean market structure, we wanted to see this level really respected and continue to go lower. Now, obviously, that doesn't flow in line with a bearish dollar. Obviously, we want to see something bullish. But I said it to everybody that if we invert this gap, then we could look to continue to go higher, right? And obviously take out the highs. This current price swing up here. We've been dancing in this gap pretty much all week. This was a very annoying thing to watch. I did actually take some shorts on this. So Monday, Tuesday, I think it was Monday, my biggest trade of the week was that 5K winner. And I did actually short that. I was looking for short opportunities on that and was able to take that. If we jump over to the Talented 10th server, I'm going to show you guys on Discord real quickly. Because again, I'm all about proof. I'm all about making sure that we show people that what we're doing is what we're actually doing. Maybe I didn't even put it. Did I even put it on? Dang, did I even put it on? Wow, it's crazy. I don't think I actually put it on. Oh, there we did. Boom. So I'm gonna share this tab instead. Again, you guys can see I was able to short this on Monday, coming in, right after the market opened. We had respected that consequent encroachment. I was short about 18 contracts on Euro futures. It's about the equivalent of about 22 contracts if you're trading Euro USD. Caught about 30 pips on that. So it was not even a really big run. Not even a crazy big run, but just was able to really capitalize on that short-term play. Whenever I trade on Mondays, I'm never I don't go heavy on volume at the beginning or the end of the week. So, and I don't try to overextend, over project what I think the market's going to hit. So, but really good trade setup, 5K Monday, and then was able to close out the week. So usually this was a little bit different week for me, because I usually am trading in the middle of the week and not the bookends, not the beginning of the end of the week. So either way, this was very, confusing for me to trade in. Again, I want to stick with the dollar bullish or bearish bias. So if that's the case, then we want to actually see this invert. And I do think we are going to invert this fair value gap. We have been getting really strong engulfings, right? Every time we get really bearish momentum, we're really, making higher highs inside of this gap. So it's my guess that we probably are going to invert this. And if we do, I just need to see a daily close above this gap. So once we fully disrespect this, just like we fully disrespected that dollar gap, then it's probably going to lead to some bearishness or bullishness. And so if that's the case, then I'll be looking at this, right, for us to continue to go higher. And that's going to be really my target for the week, or maybe not even for the week, but at least that's going to be the first level that I'm looking at. If we do get an extended run, I'll probably be looking at these highs right over here at 1.1889. But again, this all depends on if we can fully invert this gap and go higher. We did it on dollar. We didn't fully do it here. So I'm not really trying to short this at this point because we are still getting higher highs. And at the same time, I'm not really trying to long this either until we get that close above this gap. So I need to see something. So if I had to I'd be looking at something like this maybe. Something like that. If I was swinging this, but ideally what I want to find is something long inside of, this run once we close above this fair value gap. So someone asked me, how am I actually trading? Do I swing trade? Do I position trade? Do I day trade? Do I like scalp? And I'm the day trader, right? So I'm in and out usually in my session. And I'm not, even though I do these projections are just my strategy for the week, or how I'm looking for my targets for the week. And then all I'm trying to do within that 3 or 4 days is really just try to find something in this run that I can capitalize on. So I'm not holding these trades forever. I'm in and out. So hopefully that makes sense. So with Euro, that's what I'm looking at. With GBP, this is just choppy to me. Like, ideally, I'm bullish on this just because of dollar, but I don't really see a clean setup in this. I would be looking at, let me go to the futures one. Again, same thing as GBP USD. There's a couple things that I do like here for bullishness. I'd love for us to attack that fair value gap. We have some trend line liquidity there. So I'd love for us to continue to, again, attack these highs. If I had to make a guess, I'd love for us to attack that fair value gap right there. That's what I'm thinking, right? And so I'd love to see continued bullishness. It's just not as clear. And if you put a gun in my head and said pick one between Euro and GBP this week, I probably would be looking for Euro. But again, really depends on you guys. Let's go to NASDAQ. NASDAQ is having fun, making new higher highs. I'm going to clean this off and just start over again. So right now we're trading back into this overall order block right here. Again, NASDAQ is pretty much back into all-time highs mode. So again, if you guys were watching this last year when I was talking about this, the only thing we can really do is project for this to go higher. So jumping out of the daily time frame, we traded back into this daily order block right here at 23,756. So I would love for the market to continue to respect this gap, maybe even sweep last week's low. And then take things higher. So again, it's not going to be a crazy week for NASDAQ for me. Again, I talk about this all the time. When the market is trading at all-time highs, you can't really project where you think the market's going to go past the all-time high. That's the only thing we really have there. So once it trades to there, I'm usually done for the week. And so if I don't see a clean setup and maybe this pullback to there, then it's just not going to happen for me. So very quick, easy idea on ES. Again, same thing here. I'd love for us to come and sweep, maybe trade back in that order block on the daily time frame on ES. Trade back down to that 6,427 level, and then take things higher. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for on ES. Again, nothing really crazy here. It's just we're trading so close to all-time highs here that I would love for the market to really kind of reject a little bit, come back down to give us some really clean setups. If we do go bearish this week, I mean, this is a very wide open fair value gap that we haven't traded to on ES. If I look at YM, probably, or sorry, if I look at NASDAQ, probably the same thing. Yeah, right down here. So I doubt we're going to come all the way back down there this week or next week. But at some point, I would love for us to make a lower high for us to continue to go higher, right? But NASDAQ is an investment vehicle. YM, Dow Jones, these are investment vehicles. They're supposed to go up over time. So if you feel uncomfortable trading at all-time highs, that's not the thing for you. Daily time frame on YM. I mean, we swept this high. I'm actually going to stay away from this. I just don't like, this is really choppy. And we really have, if I put this line here, you can see we really have a hesitancy. Like, we've swept this same level multiple times, and I don't like it. Not to say we can't continue to go higher, but it's just, I mean, this is over 6 months. This is since November of 2023. We really had a hard time getting through this level. And I just don't want to mess around with it. So I'm going to actually scratch YM off the list for today, for this week. Clean that all up, and I might look at it next week. Other currency pairs, someone asked me about USD/JPY, so I'm going to go there really quickly. USD/JPY is in a wedge pattern right now. It's consolidating. I mean, we are getting to the end of August, and this is usually the dead time in the month where the market's not really trying to do anything or move quicker. So maybe we'll see a breakout in September. But these, I used to draw wedge patterns on my charts, not to really trade out of. Like, I don't really care about a bull flag or whatever, but it's, for me, I had a hard time seeing consolidation when it wasn't just even chop, right? And so I draw wedge patterns on my charts just to see to see if the market is consolidating, right? Because these types of consolidations can be tricky, especially when you're in trades. And I tend to hyper focus on my entry and my trade result, right? So sometimes I fail to see that the bigger market is consolidating, especially if it gives me wedge like chops. So I always draw these on just to see what's going on. But all of my principles, which align a lot with like smart money, market maker type principles, I look for something according to that style to really take a trade. So just really there to let me know that this is consolidating and not to try to overextend any trades or do anything. But ideally, I would want to see this go bearish, just like dollar, if I had to align it with something. So I would love for it to continue to run down. Gold, I'm gonna look at gold and I'm gonna call it unless anybody drops a chart that they want me to look at in the chat. Gold is making all-time highs, but just like, gold is actually tricky right now because it's also forming this little wedge pattern here, right? You can see the market consolidating, but at the same time, you can't see run above old highs. You can see breaking market structure. You can see this going bearish. Ideally, I'd like to see this align with euro and the rest of the currencies, but gold kind of does its own thing right now, especially because we're in a very turbulent time. So we'll see what happens here. Ideally, I don't want to short gold because there's nothing geopolitically that's really changed. Inflation is still kind of crazy. Like, all this stuff that we talked about at the beginning of the year that caused this run up is still there. So I'm going to leave this one alone. But you guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of gold. I really added it to the watch list because of what was going on this year, but I'm not really pressed to trade it. New Zealand dollar is giving us a really interesting short setup, but it's kind of choppy. So yeah, I'm just kind of going through things now. But again, if you guys have one that you'd like to see me go through, let me know. There's not really anything There's not really anything here outside of the major ones and NASDAQs, for me at least. What's going on? Is it Korea Apocalypse? Korea Apocalypse? I feel like that's an anime. You got it looks like somebody from Jujutsu Kaisen, it looks like, on your thing. So but yeah, that's pretty much everything. So what I want to do is, if you guys, obviously shameless plug time again, I do have a community, Talented 10 Trading, right? So this is my free community where it's a community where I teach people how to trade. It really comes in two parts, right? So there's a free mentorship joint where you can hop in and basically like see the general chat and see what's going on. So I post a lot of just general stuff. I obviously post the links to these calls here, and then basically oops, sorry guys. Yeah, so in here I basically post general chat, general information, maybe just general trading advice. Then I also have a mentorship group. It's in this chat. It's called the Lab, where I basically break down all the trades and everything that I take. And again, this is not a signal service. I don't do signal service, but I really, again, going back to what I dropped in the chat earlier, if you guys are already in there, but the biggest piece for me that I was missing when I first learned how to trade was that somebody walking me through their thought process. I think anybody can learn how to trade, supply and demand, support and resistance, ICT concepts, SMC. I think all these things are just strategies, but a strategy is like worthless unless you can see the thought process behind it, like when to execute, when to sit out. And I think that is where a lot of traders mess up at, and that's why they strategy hop, because they don't really fully understand what they're learning. So for what I do is I teach people how to trade, right? Obviously, in addition to the lab chat where I break everything down and I give everybody kind of insight into what I'm seeing, how I'm seeing it, what they should be looking for, how to execute. And it's not just, hey, get in here, get out here, right? Again, the entry, the exit is worthless if you don't know the thought process. I'm trying to create traders that can actually do this themselves and walk away, because again, I'm not going to be teaching forever, right? I like teaching. It's really cool, but sometimes it's stressing me out. I was just playing. But like, I don't want to do this forever, right? And so like, I want to be able to create traders that can go off and do their own thing. And I think the easiest way to do that is to give you my thought process. If you can see the charts the way I see the charts, and you can understand what to do in every type of scenario, then y'all can be successful. So that's what there is there. But also, if you're in the mentorship group, you can get access to the Talented 10th WAP account, which is basically the full course. I have videos on videos on videos on how I see the charts, how I see the markets, breaking everything down in a very conceptual level. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to drop a link to the chat, to the website. It is talented10thtrading.com. Right? So this is my website. If you go here, it's not the best picture of me, but whatever. If you go there, you can join the free Discord or upgrade to the mentorship. The mentorship gives you access to everything that I teach. Obviously, it gives you the concepts. It gives you access to the lab where I break things down, where I'm in that lab at least 3 or 4 days a week. If I'm not live, I'm updating things via chat, talking about what I'm seeing in the charts, what exactly setups that I'm looking at, the thought process that I have, and how to really execute on those things, right? So that's the first and foremost thing. Then you get access to the Sunday calls that we do, which are basically like office hours. Again, if you guys went to college, or there's a concept of office hours where you can go see the professor and ask him any questions you have about the class, right? So it's the same thing, right? So on Sundays, we do a office hours call where you guys can hop on and basically ask me any questions, like, I don't get this concept, or I took these trades and they were bad, or what am I seeing that, like, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing, and really just help drill stuff down, right? So that's the second thing. Third thing is obviously that course where all the videos are there. So that's what the mentorship group gets, right? And it's an ongoing mentorship. It's not like a boot camp where you learn in 3 weeks and it's over, and then you never get the chance to say hi to me again or talk to me again. You guys are ongoing. As long as you're in the mentorship, you got access to me. So it's really cool, because some people are really taking advantage of it. Like, every chance they get, they're asking me questions and stuff. So it's been really cool to watch people do that. But again, I'll post a link here. You guys can check that out and let me know if there are any questions you guys have. And yeah, just feel free to hit me there. And hopefully you guys have a good trading week. Hopefully this is beneficial to you guys. If this has been beneficial, if you watch this every week, or if this is your first time watching, please put some fire emojis in the comment section. I need the love. Like this video, subscribe to my actual trading or my actual YouTube account. If you aren't watching this on my YouTube account, again, it is Brinks Trades. You guys can follow me on all social media at Brinks Trades. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube. If there's another platform I need to be on, let me know, and I'll get on it. I'm trying to find my actual YouTube page is, again, Brinks Trades. You guys can see me here. Again, I got 282 subscribers. I'm growing. Y'all, I need y'all to get me to 300. So if y'all can come on here, subscribe. This is your first time watching. That'd be dope. 300 subscribers means a lot to me because, at one point in time, I was sitting in my bedroom at 3 o'clock in the morning, trading and just trying to get people to listen to me that this trading thing is cool. So to see 300 subscribers is really dope, right? And I know it's not a million subscribers. I know we live in this world of like thousands and billions and billions of subscribers on some Mr. Beast level, but 300 means a lot. So I got a little bit more on Instagram and I got a little bit more on TikTok, but get this YouTube on that, man. This would be really cool to be a full-time YouTuber. Man, it says keep going, bro. I'll try to explain the prop account to my bro. Yeah, man. I mean, like there's really definitely opportunity in this, bro. Like there's a lot of opportunity in trading, man. When I first started trading, there was no prop accounts. There was none of this stuff. So you had to take your own money and hopefully you could try and flip it into something bigger, right? Like that was the big thing back then. Everybody was like, I need to flip this $50 into $1,000 or $50 into 100, 300, whatever. In my first week trading, I took a $300 account and grew it to $1,000. And then by that Friday, I blew it off. And I tell everybody that story because that was the struggle. That was the reality that we were living in. Like if you had $500 back then, that was your whole thing. It's like, how can I flip this? How can I flip this? And now we're just in a world where there's so much access to capital, right? I just watched JCap make $2.5 million in a payout because of these prop firms. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's never been an easier time to be a trader, right? And now we're at the point now where even the real hedge funds and the big banks, they're watching people who are doing this stuff and they're giving traders flat out auditions. Like if you can prove that you can consistently grow an account, whether it's a person or a prop, they're giving you access to the real trading, like the real prop firms, like on Wall Street, where they're like, hey, here's $10 million in capital, right? $10 billion in capital. Manage this, grow this, right? And that's life-changing money, right? Everybody watched JCap make 2.5 million, or I think he's made 4 million overall in the last 4 years. And I mean, obviously he's been doing it for forever. I've been doing it for forever. I've been doing this since 2015, right? So when you guys see me make 6,000 in a week on my own personal capital, know that that's 6,000. That's not a week of trading. That's 10 years of knowledge, right? And so my job is to hopefully make the next generation give a little bit, make it a little bit easier, right? So there was a large part of my career where I struggled because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, right? And I would look at charts, buy, sell, do whatever. But now I'm in the position where I understand exactly what's going on. I can find a setup in it and I can grow. So, but anyway, that's enough for me. I'll let y'all go, but hopefully you guys have a good weekend. Check out my social, Brinks Trades. Again, visit talentedtenntrading.com. If you can't find the website, follow me on Brinks Trades. There should be some link on any of my social pages. Hop in the Discord. If you guys, you don't have to be a mentor, you don't have to pay to be in the mentorship, but definitely take advantage of the free chat, right? It does not hurt to be in a free chat with somebody with a decade of trading experience giving y'all advice, right? And if you want to be mentored, we got room in the mentorship for you. So come hop in the mentorship and learn from somebody who can really walk you through price. And so, don't try and do it yourself. That was my biggest mistake, is that I tried to do everything myself for years. I told myself I can do it. I can do it. I don't need nobody. And it probably added 4 years to my learning curve. A lot of frustration, a lot of wasted dollars. So you can learn from somebody that actually knows what they're doing and they have a verified track record, or 3 years of coming on live and being able to point out price, and what they want to see, and being able to show the wins, the losses, the ups, the downs, etc., then do that. Follow that person for sure. It doesn't have to be me, it could be anybody, but just advice. But all right, guys, thanks for hopping on. I'll see y'all next week, and yeah, peace.
Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at Black Bull Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at Black Bull Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. That's right, get either the Essential, Plus or Premium plans absolutely free, and all you need to do is trade from one lot a month at Black Bull Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below. Hey, if you like futures because of the tight spreads and clear setups, go check out Blue Guardian Futures. They let you start trading futures with up to $450k in funding. The best part, you keep 100% of your first 15k in profits, then 90% after that. No activation fees, weekly payouts, and they're sponsoring Chris Eubank Jr. and Birmingham City FC. Go take a look at blueguardianfutures.com or click the link in the description.